let's be real. If Canelo Alvarez thinks he's already seen everything the boxing world has to offer, he might be in for the shock of his career on September 12th. According to Bernie "Thaw" Boxer Davis, who's been riding with Terence, Crawford from day one, Canelo is stepping into something he's never faced before. Crawford doesn't just box, he calculates, adapts, and dismantles. And if Canelo thinks he can fall back on his experience to coast through this fight, Bernie's message is loud and clear. This isn't just another opponent, this is Terence. Bud Crawford and no sparring partner on earth can mimic what he brings to the ring. Canelo, ever the seasoned veteran, is banking on his past. The Mexican superstar believes that after decades of squaring off against every style imaginable, nothing Crawford brings will surprise him. But Crawford's team isn't buying it for a second. They expect Bud to do what he does best: switch stances, disrupt rhythm, and pick apart Canelo with surgical precision, much like Floyd Mayweather did back in 2013. But here's the twist. While Mayweather outboxed Canelo with finesse, Crawford has the added wrinkle of raw tenacity. He's not just slick, he's mean when he needs to be. And with Canelo's recent dip in output, Bud's versatility could be the key to making him look his age in that ring. Still, Bernie warns fans not to get too caught up in Crawford's style gimmicks. This isn't about how many times Bud switches stances. It's about how cleanly he lands, how well he controls the space, and whether or not he can frustrate a fighter as seasoned as Canelo. Alvarez isn't new to this. He's seen every trick in the book, but Bernie believes Bud's brainpower and speed can still outclass anything Canelo brings. He says, Crawford's got the IQ to outthink him and the reflexes to beat him too. The punch. Canelo's strong, no doubt, but predictable. It's that predictability, according to Davis, that Crawford will expose. But let's pump the brakes for a second. Canelo just came off a clean win over William Skull, a fighter who arguably brought more speed and size to the table than Crawford will. Skull had the youth, the reach, and the pop, but he didn't have the game plan. He got picked apart by Canelo's patient, precise counters, and left the ring looking like he never had a shot. Bernie acknowledged that. He gave Canelo his flowers for managing the pace and winning rounds with those sharp, accurate shots. But even with that respect, he's hinting at something deeper. That win doesn't mean what people think it means when you stack it against a technician like Bud. Here's where things get complicated. Bud Crawford has been dominant at 154, sure, but this fight isn't at 154. It's up at 168 pounds, and that changes the conversation entirely. Moving up 2 divisions without a tune-up, that's a dangerous roll of the dice. People forget Crawford hasn't been active. He's been out of the ring for a year, and his win over Israel Madrimov wasn't exactly convincing. Madrimov pushed him. In fact, if Crawford looks anything like he did in that fight, he's going to have real problems. Put him in with any of the top guys at 168. Bakram Murtazaliev, Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, and it's far from a sure thing. Still, Bernie's not sweating it. He doubled down. Canelo's always in shape, he stays in the gym, but Crawford, he's built different. That may be true, but it's hard not to wonder if some of this talk is just Bernie softening the blow in case things don't go Crawford's way. If Bud loses, the fallback narrative is simple. He lost to one of the best. But let's be honest, this isn't the same Canelo that mowed through divisions a few years ago. His timing is a little slower, his volume is down, and the shine isn't as bright. He's still great, but maybe not untouchable. Bernie didn't pull punches when talking about how unique Crawford is. He said, Canelo can't even find anyone to imitate Bud in camp. No one moves like him. No one thinks like him. He's gonna make Canelo look like sludge. Strong words and a bold prediction. But here's the rub. The only guy Bud's made look like that in recent memory was Errol Spence. And let's not forget, Spence came into that fight looking like a shell, drained from cutting weight, barely active since his car accident, and nowhere near 100%. Even in Crawford's win over Madrimov, he didn't look like the destroyer we saw against Spence. That raises a real question. Was Spence just broken, or is Bud still that dangerous? Bernie insists this will be even more shocking than the Spence fight. It may not be as brutal, he said, but people are going to walk away knowing Bud won. That confidence is bold, but you have to wonder, can Crawford really walk Canelo down the way he did with Spence? Can he stay in the pocket and trade with one of the most dangerous body punchers in the game? Because if he's planning to play the long-range pity-pat game, he might be in trouble. Canelo doesn't need to land a ton, he just needs to land the right ones. And if those punches are heavier and cleaner, judges might not care about Crawford's activity. That brings us to the real chess match. Bud's camp knows he can't let Canelo dictate the pace. If Crawford lets Canelo plant his feet, measure the range, and dig to the body, it's going to be a long night. But if Bud can keep him off balance, keep the angles shifting, and land first, he might just pull off the kind of upset that echoes through boxing history. It's a razor's edge. And when you factor in ring rust, the jump in weight, and the pressure of facing a global star like Canelo, the stakes skyrocket. Both sides have something to prove. For Canelo, this is about legacy, about proving he's still the face of boxing. For Crawford, it's about greatness, chasing the kind of win that cements you among the all-time greats. This isn't just another fight. This is a collision of styles, legacies, and generations. And the result? It could redefine what we thought we knew about both men. There's something almost poetic about this matchup. Canelo, the powerhouse who's been built like a tank since his teens, taking on the wiry genius from Omaha who's made a living off timing and toughness. It's boxer versus brawler, but not in the traditional sense, because make no mistake, Canelo can box and Crawford can bite down and go to war. That's what makes this fight so hard to predict. The talk will keep coming. There will be more interviews, more back and forths, more breakdowns. But when that bell rings on September 12th, all the noise disappears. It's just two men, four fists, and one shot at history. And whether you're rocking with Team Canelo or riding with Bud, one thing's for sure, we're all going to remember this one.